And it is time again for some coding. Good. just a little bit of coding. Good. What are we doing here even? We're trying to get the, why am I stuttering? We're trying to get the asset going here that is the infinite open world. And, again. Got some models here, except, that was just for testing purposes. So what changed since last episode? Not much. To reload the domain because it hasn't been done in a while. The idea is that you have a character, and that character can run around in the world. This is how it looks in the game. And the character also does not have the right texture on. That's why it does not curve with the world. So we are going straight, as you can see. And the world is not going straight, and it's just an illusion. That's why there is a straight character here in the scene view, floating in the air in a curved world over there. And we can look from up above, see how the world looks. Very nice. Very nice, says the border. But yeah, what if you don't want a curved world? Well, then you go into your asset, and it's just a single script. That is the heart of it. And you define that you do not want the curvature here. Curve is on. By default, it is probably off. So what is the what are the numbers here? 2 and 0. What will 2 and 0 do for you? Let's check this out real quick. Just a little bit. Just a tiny tad. Curvature. We have tile collisions, but we're not using them. So let's start there, cleaning up a little bit of code. Tile collisions. Dun, 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 dun. And what we're also going to do is have the world not be infinite if the designer doesn't want it to be infinite. I want you to imagine this as a rim world type of game that you can do with this. So we have a huge tiles area. Let's quickly do this. Infinite open world here. Huge amount of tiles there. Like here, for example, is one. Good. And this is all of them. And that could be your map. And if it wasn't infinite, and if it wouldn't curve, then it would be the tile, the combat tile you're on. And this here, what you see there, is more of the planet. And then you pick a tile where you settle your colony on. So this could be a 3D version of RimWorld. And we love the colony simulator, so we're making an asset for it. But you can use this asset for anything you want. It's going to be up in the store when it's done. But first things first. Let's get into what we're trying to do here. Instant creation bool. This is interesting. Instant creation. And then we're going to have another bool that says infinity. Infinity. Infinite map. Good. That's the bool we want. And let's see how that looks here in the script. And where it shows up. Good. Camera, not important currently. Camera transform, also not important currently. So here you define everything you want about this. And this is just how small this asset is, really. And there's a new addition from last episode as well, and that is the tiles area. So what we're going to do today, the to-do list, is get the tiles area going. Make sure the user can decide upon having the map being infinite or not. And let's turn the curvature off. It is off on default, isn't it? Is it on or off? We got world grid here. This is defined quite publicly. Curvature. And curve. Yep, it is off by default. Good, but where was this? Where was this? Tile collisions. We have it here somewhere. There we go. Tile collisions. We don't have a need for that anymore. We were messing around with the physics there. And see if we can make this infinite with having a character or a helper object run through the map like crazy following the main character. And it wasn't really what we were looking for. So we're instead opting for the math solution. Good. Anyways, instant creation, infinite map. So what if the infinite map is off? Instant creation, infinite map. How many tiles you want? I think we have to rearrange this just for logic sake. So first, this is called infinite open world. So the user has to decide, do they want an infinite map or not? And the infinite map is on per default. Good. Then they have to decide how big it is. And we have instant creation there, the option. Good. I think this makes more sense. Right, and how do we implement the non-infinity? Well, we have an infinity method, and it will simply not do anything if it's called infinity. If the map is not done, or host tile is the current tile, or infinity working. What the heck? Infinity working. Where the heck is infinity working? Find infinity working. This is probably a hidden boolean. Yeah. Infinity working. It should always be working unless the user doesn't want it to work. Infinite map is now what we're looking for. Yes. Copy. Go back to infinity. Good. If that. If not infinite map, then we return. Let's test this out immediately. Good. How many tiles do we have? 20. Are we creating them instant? We are. Otherwise it takes too long. Good. Oh, and that's also what we wanted to change. And we have the curvature on? Because we should not. Curve is off and still it goes. Find curve. Set global curvature. But it's off, so it should be set to not have it. Maybe there is a default curvature that is messing with this. That's a bit bad. Because we had nothing to do with this shader. So this shader has a default curvature. Apparently. Now the thing is, if you're the designer and you put your own prefabs in here, or wherever you have them, and you put your own prefabs in the inspector here in that infinite open world script, then you're probably going to have curvature or not on the prefabs themselves. So here in materials and in the type of mesh renderer, because it's gonna say here somewhere. Mesh renderer, materials. Where's the shader? Here, curved shader. So you will not have the curved shader. That means that whole thing is just a show off. Well, that's actually alright. We can live with that. Just have to add some code into the test thingies. And it would create host character. If host character 0, else host character prefab. Good. Host character is 0. Host character create primitive. Standard. There you go. Fader, shader find. What if we say we find a shader with a different name? Like, for example, curved shader. Is this as easy as that? It probably is. Let's test this out real quick before we keep working on what we're actually trying to do. Also, is the music too loud? No, it's fine. Good. Answered that question. Right. So if we run forwards with the dude, real slow. Really slow. We see that he curves with the world. But these are 3x3 tiles. So 3x3. Oh dear. Why are you so far down? Good. Feels like this capsule is a little bit big. How come this is so big? Because these things are 3x3. As you can see there. The capsule is huge. But it is a standard capsule, isn't it? It is a standard capsule. Why is it so frickin' big? I don't understand. 3x3, so if we were to lay it down... Oops, wrong rotation. Is almost... So what if we walk down? No problem. That is the funky Schmidt. Yeah, this is crazy. 3x3 tiles? Capsule so big? So that's why we made it smaller there in the previous iteration. But alright, the shader problem is solved. Good. We have to somehow... We will put this in a different method. Create host character. Instantiate. I wonder if you should do this. Thing is, we don't like that it's not as readable as it should be. Create host character. Who calls this A? Oh, what are we doing? We're thinking this is a video game and scrolling upwards with a W key. Terrible. Good. Culture. Where is this called? Create host character. Creates a test character which can be overridden just with popularity. I think we're going to move this over. We're going to say... create test character. And here we're going to say if this and that, and this is the test character. Zoop. Make this a bit different. If host character is 0 or null, rather, then we create the test character. Otherwise, we instantiate something. This should be reasonable. Maybe. Problem is, if we want to do more things up here, then it's not reasonable at all. Alright, so the designer has a character. So it's just going to get instantiated and that's it. So that's on the designer side. And they can test their game with their own character. We don't have to do anything with it. Except if the curvature is on. But no, that's also his responsibility. The designer's responsibility. If the curvature is on, all of our test code is going to get the curvature going. Create test character. Good, let's give it a different type of comment. Everything in between here is going to say this code shows off the curvature. Code is part of showing off the curvature. Good. Alright. Create test character. And not just there. Where else? The default tiles. If the curvature is on, every default tiles, and we have to put this here in the create instantiate tile, default tile, in the create tile, yeah. There has to go a lot of different code. This all is test stuff. If the tile is null, that is being here then. Oh, blueprints go in here. Then we're going to, oh man, so much to do. Tile equals 0, then the default. If default tile prefab is 0. And then here we want to do the curvature. Curvature and colliders. Why colliders? So the default tile should not even have the curvature asset. Curvature is on, we're looking for the asset. Not, then not. Good, and then we can do this here in the beginning as well. If curve shader blah 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 blah. That is right. Right there in the awake function. Good. Let's mark this. This code is part of showing off curvature. Good. And the reason we're marking this, the curvature is not really needed. That's not the main thing here. That is not the main thing. Do we need to have this twice? No. This goes about showing off curvature. Good. So it can be safely deleted. Let's mark the end of the code. This is awake. Just making sure here. Da-da-dum. That this is very visibly marked. Good. And we should say this method over here. And can we put it on top? Surely. This method is part of showing off the curvature. Good. Or can be part. Can be part of showing off the curvature. And make sure. Good that we're talking about this. This code is part of showing off curvature. Good. Wonderful. And then a lot of stuff down here. Creating the tile. Blueprints. Are we going to do this right now? Create test character. Yes. We're going to find the curved shader here. That equals new material. Good, 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 good. This is really good. And this is going to be standard. But if curvature is on, then we're going to give it a curve shader. The material color, this is good. Create test character. And obviously, this is part of showing off the curvature. Really making this extremely clear. Good. Now we have it behind the if statement. And before we had it on top of the method, that's fine. Is it? What if we make it a bit more readable? Good. What if it was even more readable? This is a lot of design stuff. Because at heart, we're a designer channel. Anyways, here, that is that. Good. That looks nice now. Right, is this running? Would this code work? Can it implicitly convert float to bool 172? What's the problem? Oh yeah. That's not the boolean we're looking for. That is a float. Infinite may, instant creation. It's down here. Curvature, public float. Public bool curve. Yeah, curve. Curved shaders. Good. Curved map is better. Do we have a curved map? Yes or no? Good. If we have a curved map, then we're gonna find the curved shader. What now? Name curve doesn't have a 83. Oh, we had this looked up before. If curved map. Yep, of course. Good. So that means the curve is off. We should now be a regular tune. Oh. Parameter name shader. Don't know where it is. Argument null, exception value cannot be null. Parameter name shader. (169). What's the problem? Standard standard is good. If you're not illiterate, then these things will not happen to you. Good. Run. And we will float. Oh, and we're meant to be smaller as well. And we don't need to test this. We know what is happening. And kind of up. Yeah, this is half the size. Local scale equal. Can we not multiply this? Times equal 0.5? Would that not work? There's no telling. Hopefully it works. And whoosh! Beautiful. Where are we looking here? So small now we can barely go over the fences. That's cool. Can slip through here, haha. But if there's a fence, oops. But yeah, we can vault ourselves over there. And that also reminds us working on something completely different, and that is mesh stuff. So for example, we could add a text mesh script, and we could give it reasonable numbers, like for example character size and font size. Text, new text. Good. Why don't we see this? There we go. Oh, that was too much. Good. What is the problem here? Let's be middle. Let's be center. Tab size, don't care. Font size, 500. And what is the font? There's no font there. Legacy runtime font? Font style, normal bold. The left line spacing, character size. Why does it not go middleish with the character size? That is strange. How does it look in-game? I don't see it, it's somewhere else. Where the heck is it? Oh, here? It's a bit broken. It's not with the camera. You're still curved, that's alright. But where's the friggin' text? Oh dear. Oh dear. But we're 0. Don't understand this. Character offset. Maybe if we give it a font. And that's a problem. Why can't it just have a standard font? We had a font before. Text. Of course, we can give the character the size 1. This always looks, almost looks good. Capsule is here. Infinite open world is there. Tiles area. And now we see it, and that's good. Oh! It's always with a character. Doesn't matter where we go. Weird. I like that it's this big. But maybe it's too big. Character size 1. Font size 500. Would have to have this middle left. What? No. That was the issue we had before. Tab size was 4 and it did not do anything. New text. Can I please click in here? New tab. So if the tab size was bigger, now this is over there. Whoop. Tab size. Yep. That is a tab size. It is quite inconsequential. If you don't have a tab, it doesn't do anything. Character size. Line spacing. That is for a new different line. Could easily be 0. Oh, if it's 0, then you guessed that we don't have space between the lines. Good. And a really funky thing is, we tested this off stream quite similarly, and text did show up. Can go the curved material. Oh, and text shows up only on one side. That's interesting as well. So how would this look now? And the whole reason we're doing this is... Oh, it stays there. Good. It's only moving because it wasn't curved. Whole reason we're doing this is we need text to display without a canvas because we don't want to overload the hierarchy. Good. There's not much you can do with this meshed text or text mesh. And that is just fine. Additional settings, motion vectors. Dynamic occlusion. Light. Lighting. Cast shadows. Off. Wait, no, that's not the... Wait a minute. I'm so confused now. It created this. It created this. So yeah, it's fine. Then we have to put something in. That's a bit of a shame. Create a folder. Fonts. This is loading up, and we don't want to overwhelm the designer. But it is what it is. We need fonts apparently. Let's have some open fonts. Da, 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 da. Just have the standard Windows fonts. But why can we not find them? Simply here. And we will have this component be on the camera again. Good. Yeah, that is the most reasonable thing. Just put it on the camera. And then display it in the user's face. We're gonna have a Z offset and put it on the top left or whatever. Anchor, alignment. There's not too many places it could be when it's in the camera. Copy component. Main camera. Paste component as a new component. And it immediately gives us this mesh renderer. Font material. Da-da-da-dum. Text mesh, remove. It's in the camera now. And font material. Flat red. Cast shadows definitely off. Text mesh, the shader is standard. Good. And do we see it in the camera? Does not look like it. Can we see it here? Yes. So we would have to give it an offset. Z offset, far or close? Far. Ah. Good. Middle center. How about upper left? Oh, the anchor is lower right. Alignment is left. And the further we offset it, the better. I don't know. Character size is going to be very high. Otherwise, the font is going to be blurred. Put this away. But yeah, there's the thing. It's very hard to put it in the top left if you connect it to the camera like that. Is there a trick we can do? We can tab it in there. No. This is a huge text. It's also vanishing when you don't, but that's not a problem, don't think. You can have this render on top always, somehow. Good. Oh no! We meant to copy the settings so they don't know. Well, anyway, we know that the Z offset is about 600. And we could just have it on top. Would that not make more sense? alignment, center, anchor, lower center, and that's still not on top. The more we do this, character size, so we can give it an offset and increase the size, and it's going to end up on top. Beautiful, and that's how we're going to do it in games as well. Line spacing doesn't need to be that big. And the more we offset, the bigger the characters can be. Wonder if we can trick this somehow. To be up higher even. Yeah, we just give it another tab and it pops up higher. And then we can have it smaller. There is no reason for a canvas if you just want to pop in some text information. And this is the quickest way to do it, just in the camera, bam. The only thing you have to take care of is, is this correct? No, yeah. Only thing you have to take care of is that it renders on top of everything. And that is possible, there is a trick there. Just not knowing it on top of our head. Wonder if somebody else had this idea. Text mesh render on top. I'm sure, because people are using this for other things as well, for floating texts. Good. Unity text mesh render last. How to get it to always no, not text mesh pro. Font material renders on top of everything. Good. I have these text products. My purpose is that I print text and store on last, so it's visible always, even if it should be occluded by intervening solid objects. We have the exact opposite problem. Different shader. Yes, and there's a setting in the engine, and it tells when something's rendered. Oh, genius. Text Mesh Pro. That is cancer, by the way. Text Mesh Pro. Change and render order from original text mesh component reference. Render first. I don't know. Unity text mesh component. Unity. Make text mesh component render first. How to get no. No. Text mesh. You can create new text mesh. You can create a text mesh using 3D text mesh and scene how to generate text character. Order of meshes and sprites. Good. I've been desperately searching. Can't believe I struggled with this. If anyone is interested. Sorting layer. There we go. Good. Sorting layer. They made an editor script for this? How is this? We have this in the editor. This is over 10 years ago. I couldn't figure out how to find a layer name, so just a feed use with care. Mesh renderer, begin change, check. Sorting layer name. Renderer sorting layer name equals name. Sorting renderer sorting order equals text mesh component sorting order. Unity text mesh component sorting order, and make sure to spell it together. Sorting order makes text disappear. Yeah, you probably had the wrong order there. Found some kind of workaround. Layer order? Why is this so frickin' small? Instantiate pickup, NuGet, sprite render, sorting order, layer order. So we grab our renderer and give it a sorting order. Can somebody explain this to me? Very possibly so. Unity sorting order API. Sorting group. Also, wait a minute, what are we using here? Firefox. Firefox disable AI add-on. Disable AI results. We get an AI result. AI results. How to turn off AI, blah blah blah. Is that an add-on? Made some changes. uBlock, my filters. 9 months ago. Works on Android. In Chrome you can just have an add-on. Extension hide Google AI. There we go. But we have this. Why did we still get that? Add cookies, pin, and what was the other one? No, this should work now. Good, so what we were looking for before we were rudely interrupted here. Unity sorting order API. Ha! There we go. Easy. First result. No clunk, no garbage. You have to hack your computer, otherwise no chance. And we didn't even do the hacking. Somebody else did. And we got this wonderful add-on Hide AI added to our Mozilla Firefox. Good, we use all kinds of browsers, so we have to do this for every browser in a different way, but that's fine. Render a sorting order. Render as order within a sorting layer. You can group into layers. The sprite render goes. This is called sorting layer. The sorting order. This is sorting. The lower the number you give, the further back the game object appears. So we have to give it a super high number. Values between this and that. Good. Find property my order. Renderer properties. Sorting order. Renderer sorting order. Where do we put this in? In the awake or in the start? Transform get component. If this is not on the camera, then we have a problem. We have to make sure that the user knows this is for testing purposes. So, camera main. I know we are here. Oh, did we press the insert on? Excellent. Camera main. That should grab the transform. Get component renderer. That's not how it works. Sorting order equals this. Camera main get component renderer. That's probably not how it works. Doesn't know the renderer. Type analysis renderer could not be found. Mesh renderer? Toolkit debug. What the heck is this? Debug. There it is. Mesh renderer. No. Let's turn it on here. Mesh renderer. It's just mesh renderer, isn't it? I think it is. Mesh renderer. No? But, what is it then? Mesh render with a capital M? Ha! It was the mesh render with a capital M, alright. So, the sorting order is very high now. Extremely high. It doesn't work. It still vanishes behind. That's a bit of a shame. Darn it. Maybe it was lying to us? Or it changes on the fly. Those are the two possibilities. Let's find out. Nope. There's nothing we can do. Good, let's start over. What about we're searching for here? Good Unity. Text mesh. Render on top. Minus text mesh pro. Text mesh renders on top of everything. Yeah, we want the opposite. Until completely on screen, yeah. Let's look into this here for a moment. Never figured out, but it's quite stupid. But what is a cube? 3D text and also the text just slightly to the. Hey, give me more of this. Text because too close to the cube. So depending on the angle, the text would either render because it was visible, or not because it was inside the cube. Kind of strange behavior. So it was simple. Add the prefab and pull the text out just a hair. Problem solved. Z fighting was his problem. That's not our problem. This is how can I make a player show best way to render mesh on top of existing scene. Good. How long is this ago? Oh dear. Second camera. Render special layer. It is indeed a good object shader Q tag to overlay. Oh, that's a good idea, probably. Object shader Q tag. We did not know. Hey, can we turn this debug off? shader, Q shader. We have the standard shader here. Variant for material variant. It doesn't have any material as children. Oops, what did we click? Shader. We can edit shader. Q. Properties. Keywords. You're looking for overlay in Q. Disable batching, component show code, preprocessed surface shader. No. No, how do we get back? Opaque. Emission, second turning offset. Render queue, there we go. From shader, geometry. Render queue is 2000 always. Hold on. Where was the RP there? Don't know where the RP was. History. Uh-oh. Best way to render Unity Express Unity RP render sort. Let's see if this does that right. Paste. Play. Hold on. Game. Nope, it does not work either. But it's 2000 again, dude. Enter. Render queue value outside for selected blend. 2449 or -1. 2449. Alpha test -1. Interesting. Let's do alpha test then. Render queue value outside. Alpha test minus 2449. Alpha test -1. Let's try. Nope. Geometry. Give us a number there. Again, 2449. Maybe we should just try -1 first. Because geometry is the same again. Alright, give us the -1 then. No? No? Geometry -2000. This will never work. It's not designed to work like that. Yeah, I cannot think of anything else but a second camera. And that is not quick enough. But it's been an hour. Let's have a short break. And we will be back momentarily. Alright, back to it. Let's turn this off, have a sip of liquid. And we have to import a font. Otherwise, no dice. How come last time we had this? So let's just ignore the geometry. The shader stuff. Transparent. No, let's have it from shader. Good, and the trick was we have nothing down here and it pushes text up. This is really good. And then we can have the text up there, up here. But if something blocks the text, then out of luck. Yeah. If you want this in a real game setting, then we do want this in a real game setting, then we will probably have to have a canvas, make that text appear, or find a solution. We would love to find a solution. Second camera, always good solution. We'll have a second camera, and that is just for... I mean, what's the difference of having canvas or a second camera? Anyways, so if the curvature is off like it is, we shouldn't have that stuff. But this is disconcerting. Let's import a font first. It's crazy that we have to do this. It is amazing and crazy. Where do we get a font from now? Open? No. Create, show in Explorer. Good. Unity projects. Let's just rip a font from somewhere. Jupiter. Seems like a fantastic font. Let's drop it in and put it on the text mesh. Font size, font style, font. Dropping it in, perfect. Good, and it really looks nice. Let's play this maximized to show off how nice this looks. It renders on top as well! Oh, this is fantastic. So the font solved the problem. Beautiful. Good. It is a bit blurred, but there is a solution to that. You just increase the character size like crazy. No, the font size like crazy. Where are we? Are we gone? Test. I just saw it there for a moment. Offset too far. Good. Anchor lowest center, that's alright. Character size too big. Character size small, font size high. Yeah, that's the trick. Good. And can we offset it even more? We offset this. Oh, that's too far. Oh, it vanishes because the camera doesn't go that far. Alright. And in order to make this appear on top, we just add a tab. Beautiful. Test me hard. Good. Play maximized. Good. So we have the information text up there. a good place to have the information text. Wonder if we can have it small and underneath each other. All the information that is needed. Probably. Do we have text in, input, player input? Yeah, jump. Good, so we want up here. Jump. Is space or the E button. Good, and then we have character size. Make ourselves even smaller. And then we have, what else? Camera, lowest center is the anchor, alignment is the center. What if we mess with this? And it just does that. That puts it up left. Drift nothing against, but the alignment is always center. I mean, that's what we wanted, right? Camera distance or zoom. Zoom in / out. Mouse wheel. Camera style toggle. We really don't like this. Lower center. This is better. Camera style toggle. Oh yeah. Can we undo this? Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Unity Engine. This is so good. Camera style toggle. What is the tab length again? Cam style toggle. Oh, the tab isn't showing up there. No, it is. Tab size 10, 5, 6. Cam style toggle Q E / space. Mouse wheel cam style toggle is Q. What's broken here? Then we push everything up. Also, the character size is too big. And why the heck is this happening? No, the tab is too much. This is readable enough. And that's the only goal here. Make this readable for the user. Wait a minute. Can we not enter here some code? Style code. Text mesh. Unity text mesh. Style code. Minus text mesh pro. Good. Rich text. It is rich text. Yeah, we can mark up this. Nested elements. Possible, absolutely, definitely. Supported tags. Color. Colorfully amused. Copy. So which one do we want? This is red. Red, white, blue. Red, white, blue. Oh my god. The brain is mush. Good. Jump exclamation mark. Colon. Jump. Good. This is better. Zoom in, zoom out. Now we do it the other way around. Come on. Come on, game. That's what I meant to say. E space. We could type this. E slash space. And then here we got the mouse wheel. And there we got Q. Good. Note that we haven't coded this yet. That's a bit rough. And we can pop, pop, pop. Push this up. And how does it look in game? Beautiful. Just fantastic. Good. Why is the jump here having an issue? Don't know. Zoom in, zoom out, and cam style toggle. Good. This is the character controller that we have in there. Means if we don't have the camera controller, we're going to disable this element. Sorting order. What the hell? Oh, does this work now? Is this responsible for our stuff working? Surely not. Because there was minus, and that would mean that everything gets rendered on top. Yeah, it has nothing to do. Good, we're gonna play focused. What's the difference there with the unfocused? Oh yeah, we can immediately use it. That's beautiful. That's exactly what we want. Good, and then there is another thing. And that is, can we simply, oh no. Control D is a duplicate line in the Notepad++, and we thought it was implemented here in the Unity engine. That would have been amazing. That would have been really good. Anyways, invert mouse look. Is going to be the Y button. Good. And we have the character size a little bit smaller. Good. How does it look in game? But we see how it looks in game. Beautiful. So this is it's like a to-do list. We have to code this, and we have to disable this if we don't have a test character controller. So what we should do is have the character controller be making this. Oh, that's rough. Not gonna do it. Not going to do it. We're simply going to disable this mesh renderer in the camera and enable it if we have a test character controller. Test character controller. Create test character. Oh dear. Good. And here it gets created using your legacy input. Good. Camera main. Why transform? Wait a minute. Camera main is already taking the transform, isn't it? Maybe it is, maybe it is not. Get component. Always by components. Get component mesh renderer, please. And set active. It's a component, not a game object. Enable. How does this work? Enable equal to. We're not 100% sure. Let's just test it. Yep, enable does not work. Enabled. Equals true. Good, let's play. What we don't understand is, do we have here with the jump and the zoom? It is the weird text style, isn't it? What if it was bold? It's even worse. It is terrible bold and italic. Let's have it just like that. Font, color. Well, I guess it is what it is. Let's test it in game now. Text mesh offset Z. How come you cannot have an offset X? Because they think you put it on a different thing than the actual thing that you're moving. Line spacing, alignment, left, lower center anchor. We could do as a lower right. And that would help a little bit. Surely. Oh, we're already playing? Oh, so we have to do it again. Lower right. Play, maximize, go. It just looks divine. Good, this is also a little bit big. Zoom in, zoom out. Are we doing some coding or just... I'm my own boss. I'm bashing myself. Hey! Do some coding, you lazy bastard. Alright. Sorry. Sorry, and no Christmas bonus for you, alright? You already messed up. Now write the code or get fired. Oh dear. Test character controller. Input get key. So get key is... Well, get key should be, if it is kept pressing, and get key down is just once. Yes. Oh, we have this already. We have this already defined. We just haven't put it in here in the access. Rotation, get access, and this is times. Can we convert a boolean into sine? that is insane. That is just bonkers. C# bool into sine. Can bool be easily converted? Somebody asked this question. Currently I have the following code. Change for again. Efficient but I do not believe while loop is appropriate. You can't really have a sign unless you do something like this, but it's less readable. We know this. Good as ternary. You could do version 1 as a ternary also if... Let's just read anyway. Alright. Just an idea. Don't hit me, alright? Times, and this is gonna be -1 or 1, so it needs to be a variable. Sine. Invert sine. Sine, just sine. Int sine is going to be a very private integer. This could be a small int, but we barely use this. It's alright. It can take up a little space. Int sine equals -1. Because we like it inverted. Wait. It is inverted per default. Because the universe likes it inverted. Not just we. Times sine, good. And we toggle the sign. We toggle the sign. So we don't need this actually. Don't do it like that. If statement in here all the time, oh, that will trigger people. So we do it like that. Good. Update and boop, invert true. We love this toggle. There is no way. Wait, can we do this in math? Here, we can say sine times equal -1. This song is brutally good. It is just amazing. This song is the Schmidt. Good, we look down, but now we look up. Now we look down, now we look up. You cannot see it, but we're moving the mouse. Oh, actually, no, you can see it. And this toggles it nicely. Pressing the button. Games can be made so easy. Good games can be made so easy. People can make it really nice on the user. User-friendly. Great character input. Instead, what do we get? A Slav jank. Whoa! But it's fine. We play this laugh jank. There's no alternative. It's like early 70s hip-hop. It's really boring. But yeah. Controls are not everything. In a game, there is also the content and the graphics. And you're gonna get your payoff somewhere. Not in the graphics in the case of RimWorld, and definitely not in the controls in the case of RimWorld. But the content is unique, arguably. There is no colony simulator that is having the cowboy theme and the brutal war crimes and the aliens and the sci-fi planet colonization. Yeah, it's a real shame that it's the only game of its kind. If there was a different game like that, with better graphics and better controls, I think that would be great. Of course, that game has its fan base now, and that will never change. Fans are like that. And you grow up with the jank, you get to love the jank. I think everybody knows this from their relatives. Ah, dear. Somebody banged their gate into the wall. Enough. Let's stop stalling. We click this and then we see what's happening actually. Jump, zoom in, out, mouse wheel. That shouldn't be too hard either. Except, how do we do this? Every time we go to the Google and we Google how to do it, it is our style of coding because we don't really know how to code. But don't tell anybody. Unity input mouse wheel. Let's go straight through the RP. Mouse scroll delta. I think that's it. Current mouse scroll delta read only. Don't use this RP. Use the input system package, please. I beg you. No, we're not going to use this. We're going to use the old stuff that is actually working without having to dig through user interface. Yeah, well, just for testing purposes. The designer here will not make use of this. But it's good that they can. What if they don't have the character control? What if they start with their map? Then they need a character control just to test things out real quick. And they're going to be very glad that it's fun to do so. And that is why we're writing this asset. So designers have fun designing. Right? No matter what kind of designer. And it's going to be retarded, people. 100%. But that's fine. It's only maybe 1% of them. 99% of them is cool people like you watching this and like me making this. Alright. Sure. Render material color primitive. Transform sphere. This is a great example, but where is the actual mouse scroll delta code? Should be here. Good. Input mouse scroll delta. Y? There's got to be an X and a Y, right? Mouse scroll data description. And that's it. We're looking for the RP. Oh, it's a vector too. Of course. Good. So why is this up or is this down? We are definitely going to find out the hard way. Dun, 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 dun. We should have a different bool as well. Bool. ISO view. is off per default. Good. Camera main, transform rotation speed. This is a good place. As good a place as any to put that in rotation input. Rotation X. Where's this rotation coming from? Rotation. Let's give it another thing. Camera position. Non-ISO cam position, and then we're going to have an ISO cam position. Good. And we have to clamp this in the end, and we will rotation X. That's nice. Non-ISO cam position. If ISO view, that's not how we want this. Maybe it is. If ISO view not, then non-ISO cam position equals the input of the mouse scroll data. Good. Otherwise, it is the ISO cam position that gets configured by the user simply by using their mouse wheel. Good. And then every time we have an input, we move the camera. That's perfectly fine. Yes. Because this is the input update. Camera main transform. Boop, boop. Actually, we could immediately cram this in. And then there are people who call a method here to have this more readable. But remember, this is a test player controller. It's fine. So if we don't have the non-ISO cam position, then we move the camera. Camera main. Is this really the... Yeah. Camera main. And then you're gonna see that we're not moving the guy. Yeah, it's fine. Camera main transform. And what is camera main? Let's educate ourselves here. Unity camera.main API. Place a script blah 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 block. This gets the main camera from the scene. But will it get the transform? Or will it get the game object? First enable camera with this tech main camera read only if there's no the property is not internal unit characters. And the main camera tag when access all game object of the main camera tag. Really? What? Get component. So this is important. Consider caching this property. Yeah. Additional resources tags. Base a script on a game object to switch between the main camera and your own camera. On second camera on the press of the L key. How do they do this? Camera 2. Main camera enabled. Wait. This looks like a component, actually. It's probably a component. Good. So let's not mess around and do the camera main transform. Transform position. No, that's not how it works. Local position. I think. Not 100% sure. No. This is position. And then times equal or plus equal. Can we have times equal and then vector? We will have two things. First we have the vector, what? Yeah, vector 3 up times the input mouse scroll data. Oh, that means we don't need the non-isocam position. It should be equal. Should be equal to the position should be equal. Good. Cut this out, put it last. Equals non-iso. Wait. That's a vector, that's a problem. Non-isocam position. Give it a vector 3. Good. Non-isocam position. And here we're gonna say non-isocam position times equal non-isocam position times equal vector 3 up times we're putting in as x. So we don't need this, unfortunately. Wait, no. Why is this a vector 2, by the way? I think 1 could be a magnitude or something. Mouse scroll delta. You have to look it up again. Unity mouse, oops. Scroll delta, look it up. Up or negative down? Ah, vector x value is ignored. What? Why? Is stored in a vector 2y property. The vector x value is ignored. Thank you for that. It should be how fast I scroll. It should be magnitude. The value is 0 and the mouse scroll is not rotated. Note that mouse of the center scroll is typical on PC. Modern regular use double movement check emulate center scrolling. This is the value returned by mouse data will need to be adjusted according to scroll rate. In the example below, a scale of 0.1f is used. It's just good. So the y then. It's That's why we got the new input system, right? Y times y. Good, and then we do the same thing down here for the vector back or forward. We don't know. Back is shorter, so we test this first. And this should already work. Let's see if it does. It does not. Test vector 40. Only assignment to new object can be used in a statement 40. Oh, what are we doing here? This is elsewise isocam position equals our input, which is completely bonkers and nonsensical. But it will never get caught for the moment. Good. Let's see how the camera will behave. Oh. Does not behave at all. Huh? Also, why is it not connected anymore to the dude? Ah, we know. We know. No, we don't know actually. Play maximize, play unfocused. Tell us what is happening. Capsule. Main camera. It is a little bit downwards now. If we move the mouse wheel, nothing happens. Nothing at all. Wrong math, probably. Good, turn some position. This will always go into the position there. And we could time this. Doesn't do. Have to test this somehow. Times. If this is normalized and it goes always times 1, then nothing will happen. Just saying. Let's see. Also, we're inside the ball. Oh, wait, what? 34. What do you mean? Times? Hey, what's your problem? Operator is ambiguous on operands of type vector. Oh yeah, it's ambiguous. Good. So times was correct. Camera position. Plus. But we do give a vector. Don't understand. We must read it out, first of all. But doesn't it get read out? And we see it doesn't change. Don't know. Equals And then the position. Let's not have the position here for a brief moment. And read out this data. Print non-ISO. Good. It gives us a vector too. It gives us a vector too. What? But it's a vector 3. Why does it give us a vector 2? Because it has a problem here with this, maybe. Non-isocam position. Isocam position is a vector 2. Non-isocam position is a vector 3. Also, it keeps reading out. There's no input. That's fine. Non-ISO. The mouse scroll data. This doesn't matter. But that the mouse scroll data is doing this is a bit weird. Let's read out the input of the mouse scroll. But still, this should not be a vector 2 here. It gives us a vector 2. It should not. And now it just ignores? No, it gives us another vector 2. Also, we scroll this. And nothing happens. It should change the number down there in the console, but it does not. Just keeps doing its thing. Crazy pants. Mouse scroll data, it just completely overrides everything. Just give us the Y now. We want to see if this actually works. This is a bit rough. Good. We scroll and nothing happens. Oh, there we go. Up is 1, down is -1. So that does work. And we have to use only it. But we are using it. Oh, -1 and 1. If we time this, then nothing changes, right? So we have to give it a, if you want, velocity. Let's say 1. No, let's not say 1. Let's say 2. And this should then give us something. And no need to continuously print it, that's for sure. Good. Let's see. And again, it detached us. And that's because this code is wrong. It can remain transform position. And then it positions us somewhere. And it detaches us for some reason from our controller. But why is this? Capsule, main camera. Why the heck is the camera? Camera is always here. And when the capsule position is, and why do we not see a ground? Where's our infinite open world? Because we're too far off. Now we see a ground. We were too far off. Camera is at 000, sure. Why is it minus something now? It's definitely not moving. And the thingy is moving away from us. Because the camera always goes back to where it is. But why? Wee! Wee! Main camera, transform position. See how it sticks. Wait, what? Huh? Because we're jumping now and we're looking at the camera transform and the camera is not moving. I think it might be broken by this one code there. It is moving, but it immediately gets put into this awful position there all the time. You cannot move it all the time. Is the problem. If input mouse scroll delta, would that work? Because it's like an axis, isn't it? Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's like a button. Let's test this out. If input, just a quick test here. Print. Just a real quick test. Oh wait, why is this not working? You're gonna type to bool. Oh. Alright, we have to find it out. Code mouse to read only, sure. To learn more about input. Input, legacy input system. Legacy input manager. Physical keys, virtual access. That's good. Mapping virtual access to controls. Virtual access and scripts. Does not work. Good. Unity get if mouse wheel used. Detecting mouse wheel. Don't give me the new input system. 2013, good. Pragma strict up to get input. Transform translate somewhere. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, so translate. Input get access mouse scroll wheel. Oh. Would that work? That would be way easier than what we're doing. If not ISO view. Position, it says translate. So this would be... Let's have this not be a vector 0, let's have this be just an integer. Oh, what are we doing here? It is madness. It's just madness. That was a mistake. What now? Operator gonna be vector 3. Cannot be applied to operands of type vector 3. Wait, what? But we time this all the time. That's weird. Good. Let's see how that looks. Just 2 kicks. Yep, this looks proper. Good, but is it the wrong way? It is, of course, the wrong way. And it also, again, fixes the camera in place, even though it is part of the capsule. Which is madness. Let's start over. Game. We want out of the thing. But I think we're going forward. Yeah. So that must be the other way around. Also, we're going deeper. Yep. Both sides are wrong. Easily fixed. But it does not fix how the... we're ignoring our position relative to the character controller. Good. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. We like that we're zooming in and we're zooming out. We have to clamp it as well, but why are we not following though? Main camera, capsule, main camera, capsule, main camera, capsule, main camera. Main camera moves. Main camera moves. Except it doesn't. Super duper weird. It immediately gets pushed back here all the time. How are we gonna fix this? It's been 2 hours. No, we've done a lot, but how we're gonna fix this. I think the problem is that we're always moving the camera. We should only be moving this if we get the input. So we should do something like is suggested in this thread. Transform, translate. Let's see if that even works. If ISO view. Let's see if this is the easiest solution. Real quick. Forward, alright. Transform. Oh, hold on. Hold your fort. This is not the transform we want to move. We want to just move the camera. Nothing else. Main transform translate. Plus forward times input get access. Don't know if this is better, if this is even implemented. Yep, it is. Let's see. Good. We have our camera, we have our tune, we run. But we want the camera to move. And this is so much better. Oops. We move out. And we move in. Wait a minute, can we move around because we look? Different way we can. So that is also something we need to fix. But now we got an over shoulder view if we so desire. And yes, the rotation changes according to that. So if we hold the right mouse button, that would be a desired behavior. But if we hold it and then move, well, I guess we could implement that as well. Why not? I think that could be quite cool. Also, we could do a quick zoom in while we hold the right mouse button. Yeah, I think that would be a great effect. And this is all stuff we're doing for our own character controller in the future. So it's very good we're implementing this for the test character in this asset. Alright, so we have this now. And we translate this with a vector 3 forward. That's nice and all. But we want to remember this for the future. Remember the position, so we should just have the position. Non-ISO cam position is going to be a vector 3, 0 in the beginning. But then we could simply store it after we did this. Camera main transform position. Whoop and whoop. Oh, that was too much. Main transform position is going to get saved in this value. Non-ISO. Good. And in case what the heck is going on here, we're writing an asset for the Unity asset store. And it's called Infinite Open World. Now, to test the Infinite Open World, we need a test player controller if the user doesn't want to use their own, and that is their prerogative. They can define a container and these prefabs or leave them empty for test objects. So if they define their host character, they can have their own controller, but if they did not, they still want to test the map, right? So that is going to get created. If they want or not. If they don't want to just put an empty game object in here. But yeah, this is for testing purposes. And it is easily deleted from the code if you don't like this behavior. But the functionality of this will get described in its own video. And that video must be created before we upload this. It's going to be a lot of work. But let's finish this asset before we take on that. Good. Non-ISO cam position equals the current position. There's only if we're not in the ISO view. This mouse scroll delta, that just did not work. You can forget about it. Good. We translate this forward or backwards and up and down as well. Or not. Save this. See how it behaves real quick. Play unfocused, and then we focus. We should play focused actually, so we don't have to derp around all the time. So we go backwards to zoom out, go forwards to zoom in. Right. And we're hanging a bit down, aren't we? Per default, I mean, we can do this and fix it ourselves as a player. It's good that we have this option. Also, we're translating kind of rough. People are lerping this in their games. But maybe we will not. Maybe this is good enough. So this should have a default position as well. Main camera is at something here. But if we start it out, the camera is snapping to the player. A create test character. Transform position is there, and that should be a plus vector up position times vector 3 up. Does this work? No. Times cannot be used. Maybe plus can be used. That's a vector plus a vector. Surely that's possible. And also, this all is creating a test character. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Good. Transform parent is going to get there. And in the test player controller, rotation. Good. And the camera main transform rotation goes like that. But what if it wouldn't? What if instead the test character would rotate around? The transform. Let's see how that goes. Just to transform, and if the camera comes with him. Or if the camera stays in transform, should not. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is good. And we're not in the character like we were before. Also, what? Why are we down? Why is the rotation down? Oh, because we're moving the camera. It's only the rotation around the y-axis that needs to be changed with the character controller. Transform unit vector 2 rotation times speed. Why are we giving ourselves this? Because we're giving an x, y. Vector 2 rotation, but we know this is a vector 2. Oh yeah, we're yeah. It's kind of fine. What if we force the thing? Capsule? There's no rigid body? Come on. Surely there's a rigid body here. There's a capsule collider. Why is there no rigid body? Oh, that is extremely weird. Oh, because it's down here. It's gonna enter constraints. Freeze rotation. That's right, we freeze the rotation. Except it gets overridden here easy. It's laying down now. Unit integers is good. Can we give it a default rotation after the test player controller kicks in? Maybe transform Euler angles. Copy. Most freeze rotation equals true. Add component display character. And then we freeze rotation. So we give it something. Is it falling down before it receives this? Post character transform Euler angles. Equal, what's the default? Bam, bom, 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 unity, Euler angles. Happy. Good. Transform Euler angles. Transform local Euler angles. Is a vector 3, right? Good, so we do simply equals vector 3 the 0, and we hope that fixes the issue, because it doesn't seem like we're rotating afterwards much. No, we're still down, we're still rotating all the way. So that doesn't do anything. We have to not rotate. We only rotate around the y-axis. The character around the y-axis and the camera around the x-axis. That can't be too hard. Transform Euler angles, rotation times speed, and camera main transform Euler angles the same, but this must be around y, and this must be around x. How do we do this? Because we really don't want to do all the input there. Probably have to. What is the vector to? What is the rotation? I mean, that's cool, right? Equals, and this is a vector 2. times speed? What? Why are we speedy? And this is mouse sensitivity. Mouse sensitivity. Sensitivity. Oh, it feels like we have speed. Rotation, get key. Where's the axis stuff? Here's the axis stuff. Horizontal move equals new vector. Transform, move speed. Yeah, move speed is different from mouse sensitivity. Why is this not together? Also, we have copied something, we don't know what. Oops. Mouse sensitivity, yay. Rotation times speed. Mouse sensitivity. Good. Let's do that. Public float range 1 to 50. That is just extreme. 5. Yeah, it's fine. It is good enough. And then what were we doing? Mouse sensitivity must be on it. Good. So we have a rotation. Apparently. We clamp this rotation. And the rotation always changes. And then we define it. Good. So Euler angles is a vector 3 times mouse sensitivity. So that would be a vector 3. Which one is the y angle? The second one, right? And the second one is the up. But if we're around this axis, will it work? If we're around the axis, that means the axis stays the same. Does it? Which number changes? It is a Euler angle. It's going to be fine. Up times mouse sensitivity. Dun, 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 dun. Euler angle is plus. Because it is the current angle. Plus whatever we're doing. And here we have the same thing. Oh man. Camera changes up. Vector around x.
Too much for me.
It is too much for me. It is too much for me as well. Let's do right. Because this will never work. Let's try. Good. First of all, we get an error. The name vector does not exist here because we're stupid. It's a vector 3. Good to see you, faggot. Code C, as in, come see for yourself this wonderful project. It is wonderful indeed. Let's see if it actually works. Uh-oh. Oh dear. This definitely does not work. Good. Or bad, rather. Let's start with a simple around the y-axis. Left and right. Looking. Disco dancing. And it's the same thing. Good. same thing. Yeah, how do we get this going? Because we don't want to change anything. I mean, we can do a new vector, but new vector is no fun. Alright, let's do a new vector. Maybe we can optimize it later. Good, is gonna be vector 3 is gonna be the mouse look. That's gonna be the mouse look. And the mouse look equals this there. Alright. Now we're gonna put this into the transforms. Transform is a new vector. This is so terrible. We hate to do this, but we must. The new vector. And that is the current transform Euler angles. X. Does this work like that? Euler angles is a vector 3. Possibly, hopefully. And then the mouse look Y. Possibly. We don't know. And then again the transform Euler angles, but this time the Z. Good. And we will have the same over there momentarily. Good. And that should restrain us to a single axis, and probably the wrong one. Oh, that's actually the right axis. Huh. Wouldn't you know? Alright. Since we're working so nicely, let's do it over there as well. Dun, dun, dun. That music is from what? State of Decay. Good times. Mouse look Y? No. Mouse look X. Comes over here. Dun, dun, dun. And then we do the transform Euler angles into here. And that should give us a proper mouse look. But it's not elegant enough. Fat cat is dancing round and round, like we did here. Except we got it figured out now. And if we click on the camera, we can actually see it at work. See how the camera looks? Looks around? It's amazing. You can even go backwards and forwards. Oh yeah, we're too high. Like a RimWorld character. Probably. Good, we can zoom in and define where the camera is looking from. This is good, but we don't like the default, we think. Let's check it out. And this is just for the test character. This doesn't even have to do anything with what we're doing, really. Alright, alright, alright. This looks great, except per default, we're going vector up, divided by 2, which is just giving it a little tad. A little tit for tat. Going up, and the tit for tat is we're having the character model size, and we're having having half going upwards, but it did not work as intended. Host character transform position up. It's not the camera. Camera main transform position times vector up half. Having it. This is hard to say. Half it. Jesus Christ. Good, let's try it again. And see where we're looking out from. This is inside the character now. The camera is now inside the character. Good. That is actually what we want. Oh, that is actually perfectly what we want. So if we go a little bit forwards, a little bit backwards, we see where we are. We are at the headspace of the character. It is really nice. Good. If we want an over-shoulder sort of view, we hold the right mouse button to look left, right. And zoom in a little bit. This is going to be very fancy-pantsy, very gimmicky in a test player character controller. But it's going to be great. Let's make some pseudocode to remind us that we actually have to implement it. Input mouse button 2. We could already do this actually real quick. Unity get mouse button 1. And key code. Input get key. Key code. This is interesting. Bam, bam. But it is the glitch man. So let's just write a little bit of a pseudocode there. Make player be able to zoom in on right RMB on right mouse button and zoom back out on release. Good. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to get some more sleep. See you soon. Thank you for chiming in. And we're gonna end the stream also momentarily. Farewell and sleep well. Because we did a lot today. Not nearly as much as we wanted to, but it is quite good. So let's see if this actually works. Play focused? What? Huh? Oh, we haven't pressed the play button. Good. Mouse 1. Alright, and that's a lot. Because it's on mouse down. Get key and get key down. And get key up, right? Yep. Mouse 1, alright. Make player be able to... So that means over here we have the pseudocode. 1, 2, 3. Zoom in until certain point. Good. And on release, dun, 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 get key up. Key code mouse 1. Zoom out again. Right, but that's not all we want to do there. While RMB is depressed, is pressed, looking not turning head is pressed character is only turning head to look, not rotating. Good. This whisker is only turning head to look, not rotating, so what if we depress it? I mean release it? It's going back into position. And the character is immediately moving in a new direction. Zooming in, turning head. Seems cool. And also, if we mess around with the camera, that is going to be fixed as well. Can we not zoom in while we right click? What happens if we hold a weapon? We're going to zoom in. Just like depressing the L1 on the controller. In modern games, L2, which is, of course, bad game design. It's a good waste of analog functionality. So we got it on release. Can we not spell? Good. Is there at any point... Well, in the Glitchman it is when we're trying to throw something. Because if we want to configure how the camera is, at what point the camera is, zoom out again. Consider That's when you don't have enough comments here. You don't know where is what. Mouse look, mouse sensitivity. Good. Mouse look. Around y-axis. Character gets rotated around x-axis, up, down, look, up, down, around x-axis, camera. Mouse look around y-axis, look left, slash right, character gets rotated around x-axis, look up, down, camera gets rotated. Good, there we got the mouse look. Vector 3. Oops, what are we doing? This is good. This best character is only turning head to look, not rotating. And where are we zooming in and out? Here, if eyes of view. Good rotation input. This is simply... Oh. Oh, this should be in here. Good, we're getting the rotation from the input. And then we're having a mouse look. And it is the vector 2. How does this work so well? It ignores, we're making this vector 3. Mouse look, ignore the y-axis by multiplying. We have to By setting it to a vector 2. Wait a minute. X, Y, X, Y. We have a rotation, which starts out as a vector no, it is a vector 2. Just multiplying this because of what? Don't know why we're typecasting this into a vector 2. It is a vector 2 by default. Mouse look equals, because we're equaling a vector 3, that's why this needs to be typecast into a vector 2. But it needs to be typecast every time into a vector 2, unless we use the vector 3. If it gets typecast into a vector 2, then the vector 3, will it become 0 or will it stay the same value? It'll probably stay the same value, which is irrelevant, because that value is 0. And it's never getting used. So that's beautiful then, is the consensus there. Good. Scientific consensus. Then the ISO view is like that. And we have to describe what is happening here even. Good. We say player is able to set up there non-isometric view. Well, set up their camera position over shoulder or first person. Camera position from first person over first person to over shoulder. Good. Good. Else player is able to, why can you just say can? Player can set up the isometric setup camera position in an isometric bird view. This is double. Bird view is isometric, but is it really isometric style bird view? Because there is a technical difference, and we don't want to anger people who know that difference. We don't want to offend them and ignorantly pretend that this is all the same. A player can set up the camera position from first person to can set up. Let's use words. The camera position. Can set up the camera position in isometric. We're good as well. Right. And this needs to be on top of the, what's it called? It's not an operator, it's an if we were a programmer we would know what if and else statement keywords were called. Let's call it a keyword for the moment. If not as a right. Isocam position. But that is for next time. Make this happen. 1, 2, 3. Make this work. Good, we have to make this work, that work, that work. Everything else here is working as intended. See if we changed something. I don't think we did. Let's have this be maximized. Alright, we're running around with our character in this dungeon. And it is curved. We haven't changed that much. Look at the graphical problem there, this here not being a curved renderer. Let's do this actually. Text mesh, font material mesh renderer, font material shader. It's a GUI shader. Can't do anything about it. That is just going to be always in. Doing this testing. Yeah, we have this artifact now. This is the end of the map, probably. Something is going on. Don't know what it is yet. We definitely need a sprint button. People are gonna look stupid when the sprint button is either something like shift, something like numpad 8. Are we gonna have caps lock the sprint button? Doop, 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 doop. Let's zoom out. We can zoom downwards a little bit as well. Good for a bit of functionality. And it would be good to have a default view for people who go, "Whoa, I messed up my camera. Oh dear." And if they cam style toggle with a Q to the isometric view, actually so we're starting in here and then we go out. This should be first person style toggle. And isometric should be a different button. Like maybe Control Q for isometric view. Could be nice. But that is all for next time. For now, it's almost 3 hours, and for just a little bit of functionality. Also, we have a big graphical glitch in there now, and we have to address this. Good, let's save the project, and thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for chiming in. Don't forget the 5-hour archives, and we don't have the link to our wheel spin anymore, or we should put it back in. So because we haven't really lost our sponsor, it's just that they need a lot of clicks for us to give us free wheel spins. Anyways, well, they don't really need that, it's just the business model there. But until next time, have a good day and a good night.